a.m. on the morning of the incident. But lastly, I say, and I qualify this, but at this stage it is speculative. It is speculated by the family, if that assists, Commissioner.
You see, this is not only about what you intended to convey, but it is also about how reasonable listeners would have understood this. You are saying this in the context of General Khan having been shot. And in that context, you mention leaks or compromise. Or what did you mean by compromise? I understood it, and I believe myself to be a reasonable listener. I understood you to be referring to leaks from or by the Commission.
Absolutely not.
And I also understood that to go back to the context in which General Khan was shot. So all of that, when you look at it holistically, it suggests that we served the Commission late last night. He gets shot after service of the documents, and there are leaks within the Commission. When you look at the totality of all that, it does suggest, or it may reasonably suggest to a reasonable listener, that you are basically saying that as a result of the leak, General Khan, or rather, General Khan may well have been shot as a result of the leak from the Commission. That would, or that's a possible way in which a reasonable listener would have understood what you said.
May I reply?
Yes.
I unqualifiedly, before you and the media, say that that is not my instructions, and that is most certainly not what I intended to communicate to the media, with my attorney and family members of General Khan present.
Thank you. May I say this then? If you are ever to make media briefings again, be careful of what you say, and don't say anything that may tend to impugn the integrity of this Commission. You should be very careful about that.
I note what you say.
Are you within what's colloquially referred to as the organized bar, or are you a so-called independent?
Organized bar.
Organized bar. Well, as I know them, having been a member of the so-called organized bar for many, many years, there was, I'm not saying there should still be, because even within the bar sometimes there may be disagreement, but there was a rule that said members of the bar can only go out to the media, be interviewed, and make statements to the media after having received permission from their bar. Otherwise, you don't just go out there and make. I repeat, I'm not saying that that rule should still continue to exist. Perhaps some might even say, does that not infringe the right to freedom of expression, and so on and so on. But the point I make is, if that rule still exists, and without it having been removed from the rules of the so-called organized bar, I wonder whether you got the permission, or if you didn't, what your basis for engaging in this in the first place was. But anyway, that's not for me. I'm just stating that that's how, as someone who once was a practitioner, that's how I know the rules to have been. I don't know if they still are. Anyway, you have said that that was not your intention, and I've already admonished you never ever to make statements that may tend to impugn the integrity of the Commission. Let me move on to